Here today with Austin Smithey, the head football coach for the Warren Warriors. How you doing today, Coach?
Oh, I'm doing great. Another day in paradise. How you doing?
I am doing well. I'm doing well. Well, one of the things we're trying to do in this interview is kind of give everyone an insight into a coach's life in terms of, how much coaches move around. And while in your coaching career yourself, you haven't moved around that much, you grew up as a coach's kid, and there was a lot of moving around to that.
Oh, that's crazy. I mean, the coaching world, it's crazy. I went to three different high schools in 4 years. I've moved. I can't lost count how many times I moved growing up. My father and my mom were both head coaches. My dad's athletic director, so we moved around quite a bit, chasing the coaching ladder. Sometimes moving for the best of the career, sometimes because we had to. But it taught us how to be tough, taught us how to adapt, and definitely something I've used in my coaching career and in my personal life as well.
Now, you're a young guy for a head coach,
Yes, sir.
but at the same time, you're in a role to mentor and prepare your assistant coaches for whatever is going to be next for them in their career. So, talk a little bit about maybe how your dad shaped your view of coaching to help you be able to prepare coaches for what's next.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been a mentor to me. I mean, obviously growing up, I looked up to him. I wanted to be like him. Most people, when they asked me when I was in high school and stuff, what do you want to be when you grow up? So I want to carry on the family business. I want to be in the coaching world because I saw how many lives that he affected and the role that he played in developing young men and into adults and getting to that point. But at the same time, in the coaching world, when you're in a position like I am, where you take over in your early 30s and you look around your staff and you have people that are older than you and more experienced than you, it's a challenge. You got to be able to relate. You've got to show that, hey, I know something that you can take from me. At the same time, you gotta earn the respect and earn the trust and show them that, what, there's a reason I'm here. And through my experience, it's my 10th year coaching, but at the same time, I've been around this sport. I've been around coaching since day one. So, it's maybe 10 years in the business, but I've been in this business for 32 years. So it's something that I have to articulate to them. And most people, once they understand my experiences, my life experiences, and what I've seen and witnessed growing up in the coaching world, the good, the bad, the ugly, the great, I think people relate to that. And that's one thing that I've been able to connect with my assistant coaches and just giving them that background that, what, I might not have been to all these places as a coach, but I've been there as a coach's kid. And believe me, the sides that you see behind that, you're lift the curtain veil, you see the whole world in education and coaching as it is. And I've learned a lot from it and I've enjoyed it. I really have.
Now, one of the things of being a younger coach, you've grown up with more of the same technology that the kids have grown up with. So, do you feel that you might relate better to your kids than some of the older coaches?
It's one of those things. The technology is always changing. I feel like, okay, I'm getting good at this Twitter stuff. I'm reaching, lots of followers, getting lots of retweets and likes, and all of a sudden TikTok comes around. It's always something changing. But as a coach and as an educator, it's something that we've always got to be on our toes and seeing what the kids are up to and relating to them on that aspect. We use a lot of technology. As a classroom teacher, I was the same way. I was always trying to integrate technology. As a coach, we do the same thing. We throw the highlight videos, we've got motivational videos and we communicate, via Sports U app, like a lot of coaches are doing right now. And stuff like that has made it so much easier as a coaching staff to communicate and reach our players, and they can relate and they know, okay, I've got a device right here. If there's a problem or something that's coming up, there's no excuse. I can reach my coaches and let them know.
Well, here's one question.
Yes, sir.
Which some people may not know. Where is Warren, Texas?
Hey, that's a good question. If you have asked me this about, 12 months ago, then I don't think I would have been able to answer you. But we're located about 45 miles north of Beaumont. It's kind of, if you know where Woodville is, it's just south of Woodville. We're actually we're a community made up of about 7 different little towns and communities, Warren, Fred, Wildwood, Lake Hyatt, Ivanhoe, a bunch of little towns together. It's been a cool experience. It's a fun little community. These people are passionate about Warrior football, and I feel like I fit right in with them.
Now you're not. Are you much of a fisherman? You're not too far away from some good lakes up there.
Oh man, I'm a big fisherman. We got lakes. We're actually called the land of lakes region of Texas. We got little lakes all over the place. I caught a 7-pound bass the other day in Lumberton. So it's been fun. Like I said, I fit right in with these people and this community.
All right. Well, now you've been there a full year, and the kids on your football team, of course, they're out running track and playing baseball. And you've got them in the weight room and all this stuff. Right. So how do they look to be developing your underclass?
Oh man, this has been the funnest off season of my life. As a aspiring head coach, you always write down things that you'd like to do or things that you've learned and you want to implement. And now's the time that I'm actually getting to implement. Last summer, I came in late. I was a late June hire, so I didn't really get rocking and rolling with these kids in the summer program until July. So now we've actually had time to implement our system and our strength and conditioning program. And these kids have grown so much. We have a point system where our athletes get specific points for participating in multiple sports, for getting additional workouts, for coming before school, for voluntary workouts and that sort of stuff. So it's really motivated them, and man, they sure have grown physically. Our numbers have been really well throughout our last really 2 testing cycles. So I'm excited as a coach and love seeing that progress from our kiddos.
Yeah, I probably should have asked this earlier, but you came over from Cal Allen, so you spent time under one of the legends. Right. So you've seen how he organized the program to achieve consistently being good at football.
Right.
And I'm sure some of those things you just talked about are things you've taken from there, but what are some of the other things that you've taken from there that you can look to your students and your community and say, hey, here's what it here's what it looks like to be good.
Yeah, so Cal Allen's an awesome experience for me working under Phil Danaher. He's been a mentor of mine. I mean, he really kind of took me under his wing, and I was able to ask him questions, because Cal Allen wasn't what people think of whenever he got there. I mean, they're in the same situation as when I got to Warren. They had very little playoff success. They were not known for winning, which is total opposite of what people think of now, 30 plus years later. But I've got to visit with them and say, okay, what did you do? And it's funny, I've asked him that question probably 10 times. And always the first thing he said was, I instituted a great boot camp off-season program that instilled discipline in these kids and to create buy-in. So that's one of the things we've done this spring here. And one of my takeaways from him, he was always on these guys about being disciplined, about buying in. Then once he created that program, we set the expectations where it was don't compare yourself to those around you, be the best that you can be. And those little things like that, I've just kind of soaked in. And honestly, I've had moving around so much, Coach Danaher and my dad have been the 2 constants in my life. I mean, I worked under him for 7 years, longer than I lived anywhere in my entire life. Of course, my dad is a legend in my own right to him. Then I got to watch other great coaches like Mike Wheeler at Dallas Christian. I got to learn from him. Irwin over at Italy. Later on went on to Lamarck, and Purcell when my dad worked for him in Allen. So I've got to watch some great coaches work as well, and I've taken things from every place I've lived.
All right, so we're heading around toward the 2022 season. So what do you look like? Who you have back? If I come to a game, whose name do I need to make sure I know how to spell?
We got some good talent coming back. Our sophomore class, LB juniors, is a very strong class for us. We've got a couple of sophomores. Our district newcomer of the year was a sophomore by the name of Zach Tannen. He was a safety for us. We got another sophomore by the name of Sam Spurlock. He played linebacker. He was another all-district player for us. We got a couple of big linemen. 6'6" guy by the name of Caden Herod, as well as our center from last year, Gus Jones, that were all district players and very good, not only good players, but good young men. And they've really led us throughout this offseason. So these are guys I'm excited about. Then we got kind of a guy that not a lot of people are talking about. He had a couple of big games, had some big runs, some touchdown, got a touchdown against Newton. That's Jeremy Smith. I'm expecting a big season out of him. He's had a great offseason. So we've got some talent coming up. We lose some good players. We had a lot of size we're losing, but I think we're going to be the faster team this year and second year in the system. So I'm expecting some growth.
All right. Now, one last question, Hart.
Yes, sir.
Something about Austin Smithey that most people don't know.
All right. So this is a good one. I use this one every now and then. I was actually appeared on an episode of Walker, Texas Ranger when I was in the first grade. So I tell all my friends I was a childhood star. I was on screen as Walker, Texas Ranger.
TV star Austin Smithey.
That's right. I was an extra, but you can edit that out.
Well, Coach, thanks for your time today, and best of luck in the upcoming season.
Yes, sir. I've enjoyed visiting with you.